comment on the nightmare daring graffiti I see all over town these days? I mean, come on. Aren't you worried that you might have a public perception problem?
I don't worry about what criminals are writing on walls, Dick. A safer San Paro. That's what I promised in the election. That's what I'm delivering.
The City Security Act. That's your big idea, huh? Giving every yahoo out there a license to roam the streets armed?
We need people willing to fight fire with fire.
Real-Time Worlds APB is like Cops and Robbers MMO style. The city of San Pedro has totally gone to shit, criminals are running the streets, and it's up to vigilante enforcers to try to cut back the city's crime. The idea for APB came from the mind juice of Dave Jones, creator of Grand Theft Auto, so if the two concepts seem rather similar, then there's probably a reason for that. In APB, you start off by creating your character in what's one of the better character editors available in current MMOs. A lot of character creators have a ton of options, but in the end, everyone looks the same. In APB, you can be really creative and unique. As you can see from the example here, you can change absolutely everything about your character. All aspects of hair, face, and body, right down to your fingernails, freckles, and boobies. Here I've created a newbie enforcer. My main character is a criminal, but whenever anybody asks you what class you chose, they make you feel really dirty about choosing the life of crime. Andrew. Both enforcers and criminals have contacts in each zone. Each contact is affiliated with a gang or an organization. The enforcers have the Praetorians and the Princess Tigers, where the criminals have the G-Kings and the Blood Roses. Missions are given out by contacts, and you gain rank as you complete them, but you also gain rank towards the organization itself. Both enforcers and criminals gain prestige and notoriety respectively. These points are gained by doing things such as killing or making arrests. For example, when a criminal gains too much notoriety, an enforcer is dispatched to take care of the problem child. The criminal then has to keep running and try to escape, or keep killing the attacker until they have no lives left. If you reach a notoriety of 5, which is the highest rating, then the whole server can go after the criminal. Jobs for criminals and enforcers are polar opposites. For example, as an enforcer, you might be asked to protect a local business or to defuse a bomb, whereas a criminal is asked to break into local businesses and set a bomb. NPC pedestrians are pretty interesting. They treat the criminals with fear, and then they treat the enforcers like shit. Check out this stellar dialogue.
The fuck's your problem?
Oh my god! Help me! You're shooting everyone! Send some CSI units! Don't worry about me, fuckstick!
Okay, now it's time to get rid of this shitty enforcer because I'm down with OPP, yo! There are 3 zones in APB, the Social District, the Waterfront, and the Financial District. There's no killing in the Social District. This is the zone where you can make changes to your character, purchase new clothes and vehicles, design items to use or to sell, and use an advanced music editor to create a theme song for yourself. You can spend unlimited time in the Social District without spending your purchased hours. The activities that you can do in the Social District can kind of be considered crafting. Here you'll see many depots placed around the zone. Each one of them can be used to create things that you use in the game. As you gain ranks or standing in APB, you'll unlock new things. Your character starts off with basic sweats and a primary and secondary weapon. Early on, you can add grenades to your arsenal. As a criminal, I felt like I was unlocking new weapons very slowly. I wanted something uber, but I've yet to receive anything that auto-aims for me. Clothing is also unlocked by gaining standing, but at a much quicker rate than weapons. As you gain favor with your contacts, you will unlock new clothing, but you can also unlock a lot by spending time in the clothing editor and becoming a level 15 fashionista. More on that later. You start off wearing a grubby t-shirt and baggy sweats, but soon you can select from a massive wardrobe which includes jewelry, hats, glasses, face scarves, shirts, belts, pants, shoes, slings, underwear, and more. You can also change the appearance of a lot of your clothing and accessories by changing colors or adding decals. The car selection in APB is okay. I don't know much about cars in general, but I do know that they're loads of fun to drive and personalize. Like with clothing, vehicles are unlocked as you gain favor with your contacts, or by spending time in the vehicle editor to become a level 15 tuner. You can use any car that you see on the streets of the action zones, but it's not the same as having your own vehicle that you can do up and even set up a soundtrack for. I'm not sure what's up with all of the different models of the same vehicle. They all just look the same to me, but a car enthusiast might get it. APB has some interesting features. For example, the market. In-game, you can hit up a market depot where you can choose to buy and sell using APB dollars, which are earned in-game, or you can use RTW points, which are purchased for real money. Items on the market are auctioned, but you can also choose to purchase an item outright, at which point it's mailed to you immediately. In addition to selling drops, you can also auction off things you create, including vehicles that you've pimped out, and even music that you've created. So basically, you can earn your RTW points and use them to purchase game time. Gameplay is pretty dynamic. There's a lot of things that you can do to earn standing with your gangs or organizations. In addition to running the group missions and the solo missions, there's a lot of little things you can do to gain rank. As an enforcer, you can witness a crime. This will give you a little bit of cash and a bit of a rank boost. As a criminal, you can make small gains by mugging pedestrians, stealing cars and delivering them to a drop-off point, or by crashing through store windows and stealing stuff that falls out, then returning it to your contact. Criminal solo missions in APB are pretty mellow. They include things like spray painting a wall, breaking into buildings and stealing items, delivering items to your contact. Missions are offered frequently, and they include a mix of solo and group. But you don't have to be in a group to accept a group mission. You just work with others on your team to achieve a common goal of capture and defend versus the enforcers. In Andrew's preview of APB, he said that it was crucial to play with friends if you want a good group, but since the actual launch of the game, people have been playing somewhat more seriously, and personally I've run into no issues with server-matched pickup groups. The fact that you don't have to join a group is great for people that hate to look for groups. However, as Andrew said during the APB beta, when you reach higher level missions, it would be in your best interest to be in a clan or have friends that you group with regularly. Speaking of grouping, Vivox voice chat is integrated and usage is automatic. However, you can turn it off. You can set it up to hear what you want to hear, and you can also use push to talk. Apparently there are occasional Vivox voice ads, but I've yet to hear one, and ads can be disabled for RTW cache. Despite how incredibly fun APB is, the game's got its problems. Real-Time Worlds has basically gone into a cone of silence. From what I've heard, support tickets aren't really being answered, there's not much of an official presence in their forums, and there's literally no game documentation. The best you'll find is an FAQ in the Steam forums, and those are just very basic Q&As. Apparently there's an APB vault coming, but it should have been out before launch. Any attempt to access the knowledge base from in-game just brings you to that simple FAQ. For example, if you want to find out what all of the symbols on the HUD mean, you're going to have to figure it out yourself or ask somebody else who's already figured it out. If you're receiving an error message or crashing, then hope that somebody's already figured out a fix in the forums. One of my biggest complaints is what should be a crafting system, but isn't really. There are two skills that you can raise up in the social district: clothing design, which is fashionista, and car design, which is tuner. You can raise these skills to 15, but in order to do so, you have to be inside of the editor. Unfortunately, there's not that much to do inside of the editor, so what people are doing is staying logged in for about 12 hours, and that'll bring you up to level 15. While you're sitting there for that 12 hours, you're also gaining rank and money. Definitely a flawed system. Some of the common complaints about APB include the use of aimbots. Both Andrew and I have put over 70 hours apiece into the game. I've yet to see anything overly suspicious, and Andrew said maybe once or twice he's seen something that could have been a hack. Poor performance is another complaint. Personally, the game runs smooth as silk for me. If you want to take advantage of the high quality graphics in the game, you're going to have to be running Windows 64-bit. At 32-bit, performance is smoother, but the graphics aren't as good. Another complaint is weak driving mechanics. I disagree fully. Every model of car drives differently, and you improve quickly with time, although you'd probably never know it from this footage. A lack of content? Personally, I'm not experiencing that as of yet. There's a lot to do in the game, including the 10 zillion achievements that you can earn. Balance issues between enforcers and criminals? I haven't seen it. Lack of story? Duh. It's cops versus robbers. How detailed do you want to get? APB is loads of fun, and if Real-Time Worlds steps up and beefs up support, then this could easily be MMO of the year, which is why we're giving the game a final score of 4 out of 5.